Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Tonight, more charges in the killing of George Floyd.
We got all four! We got all four!
All four officers involved now arrested and charged, but will justice be served?
All the world is watching.
And the stunning rebuke of the president's actions from Trump allies.
I do not support invoking the Insurrection Act.
I'm Andrew Chang. Also tonight, demands for justice here in Canada.
There's a lot of unknown questions out there that we deserve to know as family.
Growing calls for an inquiry more than a month after the horrific mass shooting in Nova Scotia. And feel like you're in virtual meetings all day?
I do feel like every time I got off of a Zoom call, I had to go lie down.
Turns out Zoom fatigue is real. What you can do about it. This is The National.
It's been 9 days since George Floyd died at the hands of police. 9 days of protests and calls for justice across the United States. And tonight, a step in that direction.
All four former Minneapolis police officers involved have been charged and are now in custody. It is a critical development for Floyd's family, mourning, for a country still trying to find a constructive way forward. And while tonight there is still anger and frustration on the streets, there's also hope that this could represent a turning point. The crowds have been gathering all day in front of a makeshift memorial in Minneapolis where George Floyd died. And that city, like so many others, once again tonight facing a curfew. So that is where Susan Ormiston begins our coverage. Susan.
So, Andrew, on the first eve of the official memorial for George Floyd here in Minneapolis, the Attorney General in this state said he was not swayed by public opinion, but believes he has the evidence to support murder charges for all four of those police officers. This sets in motion some highly sensitive criminal cases, which will be under intense scrutiny across the United States. An anthem to oppression at the growing shrine to George Floyd the moment they learned all four police officers will be charged for murder.
Minneapolis is sending a message to the world that we are done dying. Amen. This is history. All 50 states are now demanding justice in solidarity and unity.
Floyd's smoldering gaze looks out now on the pavement where he died, gasping for air. Derek Chauvin kneeling on his neck. He'll get a more serious second-degree murder charge. Two other officers who pressed their weight on his legs and back, and a third, all who failed to intervene, will be charged with aiding and abetting murder. Answering loud calls for criminal accountability for each of them.
We absolutely believe that he was tortured in the last 8 minutes and 46 seconds of his life.
But now strong emotions must be checked against provable facts, establishing intent and the cause of death.
Trying this case will not be an easy thing. Winning a conviction will be hard.
Especially when prosecuting police.
Those are just pieces of paper. This will not disappear unless we change the way we think and how we feel about one another.
But here, spirits have lifted, that at least the arrests are a first step towards the justice they seek.
Give everybody a little hope about what the next step could be, and hopefully we can continue to, just keep the pressure on.
While sentiments are strong.
All the world is watching. All the world is watching. All the world is watching.
It appears that Minneapolis has moved beyond the violent clashes between looters and police just days ago. This scene here tonight is very peaceful. More and more flowers at the shrine for George Floyd. They keep coming and coming. But it is doubtful that even these charges will go a long way to quieting loud demands for an excavation of racial inequalities in this country beyond policing, Andrew.
And so, Susan, what do you think we should expect tomorrow and next week?
Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to have a memorial here in Minneapolis, a large gathering. Family has come in from all across the country. There will be at least 1,000 people there, and that is the first of several memorials to George Floyd. His body will be ultimately sent to Houston for his funeral there in the city where he grew up on Tuesday.
Okay, Susan Ormston, thanks so much.
In Washington, protesters have gathered just steps away from the White House today, again, where cracks have begun to emerge between the president and his Secretary of Defense. Paul Hunter joins us from Washington now. Paul?
Adrian, the word they're using here tonight is revolution. Here's the scene. The massive, loud, but peaceful crowd. If you pan the camera to the left, you'll see the police line just past these signs. And then about a half a block further to the left is the White House. Inside the White House, President Trump increasingly facing escalating condemnation.
Just blocks from the White House again today, fury.
Stop killing black people!
Targeting not just America's deep racial divisions, but as well, specifically, the occupant of the White House just down the street.
Trump don't care about us, period. All he think about is himself. He's been against all of us ever since he's been the president.
People are fed up. We're done. We want to ask this ridiculous administration to speak up and to support black people for what they deserve.
On Capitol Hill, another protest, equally forcefully held in silence. Though the quiet was broken by cheers for support from the other side. First one officer and then another. And significantly, 2 days after Donald Trump threatened to put down the protests by calling in the American military to target American citizens on American soil, today a stunning rejection from Trump's own Secretary of Defense.
The option to use active duty forces in a law enforcement role should only be used as a matter of last resort and only in the most urgent and dire of situations. We are not in one of those situations now. I do not support invoking the Insurrection Act.
On Monday night, as CBC News watched, Mark Esper met with some of those who'd been protecting the White House. That visit by Esper came just after he'd been with Trump at that church, where protesters had just been forcibly cleared from the area to make room for the president. Esper today acknowledged it was just a photo op. And as for Trump's threat to soon use U.S. troops, he said they should instead be used to protect the rights of Americans to assemble. And tonight, more support for demonstrators, this time from former President Barack Obama.
I want you to know that you matter. I want you to know that your lives matter.
In a live-streamed discussion on racial injustices, Obama suggested the demonstrations are having an effect, highlighting the country's deep challenges. Recent days have been difficult and scary, he said, but because of those protests,
they've also been an incredible opportunity for people to be awakened to some of these underlying trends. And they offer an opportunity for us to all work together to tackle them, to take them on, to change America.
And besides all that, Adrian, besides the message from this giant crowd outside the White House, a rebuke tonight, an extraordinary rebuke from Donald Trump's former Defense Secretary, James Mattis. I'm going to read it to you. He wrote tonight, Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, who doesn't even pretend to try. He says, quote, we're witnessing the consequence of 3 years without mature leadership. And James Mattis then likens Trump's actions lately, Adrian, to those of Nazi Germany. It's remarkable.
Extraordinary. Paul, thank you very much.
This is the 9th night of protests, but the crowds are not dissipating. And now that more charges have been laid, for some, the focus is shifting to how action on the streets can lead to lasting change. Let's head to Stephen D'Souza in New York. And Steve, you're with another group of protesters that had a plan that police thwarted. Tell us what's happening there.
Yeah, so Andrew, this crowd wanted to send their message directly to the mayor, so they went to his official residence, but police completely surrounded it, so there was no chance for them to protest there, so they continued to march through the streets, again in defiance of the curfew. And as they passed apartment buildings, people came out of their windows banging pots and pans in support. And what's interesting is as you talk to people in this crowd here and earlier in the day, it's clear that their resolve to continue to protest is stronger than ever.
There are protests, and then there are movements. What's happening on the streets of New York shows no sign of slowing down. A march last night stretched as far as the eye can see.
As long as I can walk, I'm gonna be here.
Cordell Watts has been out every day since the protest began.
I feel like if I'm not here doing my part, I can't talk liberation. I can't talk, Black Lives Matter.
Edith Chase came out for the first time today.
I needed to add my voice to the conversation.
That desire to be heard continues to be expressed across the country, from Philadelphia to Los Angeles to Milwaukee and dozens in between. Word of new charges did little to slow things down today. Too many here have seen police officers charged only to be exonerated later.
We see history being repeated each and every time something like this happens. An arrest is not enough. We need you to go to trial, we need you to be sentenced, and we need you to go to jail. And I don't think we should stop marching until those things happen.
And I don't say stop the protest. No, the protest must go on.
But the march to justice is long and difficult. Gwen Carr knows that better than most. Her son, Eric Garner, died after he was put in a chokehold during an arrest. The officer involved wasn't charged and was only fired 5 years later after multiple investigations.
We gotta wake up America. We all live in the same house, but we are treated differently.
She's trying to build support for new laws in New York to make chokeholds illegal, bring more transparency around who police arrest, and more disclosure when officers are accused of misconduct. But laws aren't all protesters want changed.
I just want us, as colored people to be looked at the same as everyone else.
So this is how the night ended for many of the protesters. As you can see, a mass arrest is taking place here. They have two large corrections buses where the arrestees are going to be put into. And what's interesting is the people who are being arrested were part of a group that went to the mayor's house to send a message in part about cutting the budget of the New York Police Department. The mayor was actually asked about that earlier today and said he simply doesn't think it's a good idea. Andrew?
All right, Stephen D'Souza in New York for us tonight. Thanks.
And the outrage continues its global spread. In cities all over the world, protesters have been streaming into the streets, some in solidarity with what's happening in the U.S., and some to bring attention to the problems in their own countries. We begin with Margaret Evans in London.
Central London. Streets emptied these long weeks because of COVID-19, today filled with grief, outrage, and solidarity with George Floyd.
He could be your dad. He could be your son. If this can happen to him, it can happen to anybody.
The other message carried on the air here, that Britain is far from immune to racism.
It's a systematic issue all over the world. It's the fact that we can't, you can't go to a shop without being followed around the store.
Today, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was criticised by opposition leaders for failing to comment on the events rocking the United States.
But I do hope that next time he speaks to President Trump, he will convey to him the UK's abhorrence about his response.
And at the very least, Prime Minister, say it now, Black Lives Matter.
Prime Minister. Well, Mr. Speaker, of course Black Lives Matter, and I totally understand the anger, the grief that is felt not just in America but around the world and in our country.
The protests here come a day after a government report confirmed that Black, Asian and minority ethnic groups are far more likely to die of COVID-19 in England than white people. But it failed to explain why or offer a solution.
They didn't come up with a single recommendation.
Analysts say it's no surprise George Floyd's death is resonating around the world.
The reason it has captured the hearts and minds is because it is the same fundamental issue. It is the issue that Black and ethnic minority people are over-policed and under-protected.
Many say the pandemic is exposing the entrenched inequalities that people came out to protest against today.
And it's very ironic that a lot of people that are dying are usually essential workers, and the social workers are black. A lot of them are minority black people, and so including my parents.
It is not a legacy one generation should be asked to hand to the next. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
And protests, of course, played out today in other parts of the world, including Greece. That violent scene outside the U.S. Embassy in Athens. Demonstrators threw flash bombs towards riot police. They, in turn, fired tear gas, hoping, it seems, to disperse the angry crowd.
I think it's really important to show some kind of support and for all of us to stand against something that we know is not right.
And a small but passionate crowd in Cape Town. These protesters staged a very peaceful rally outside South Africa's parliament. Some left flowers to mark Floyd's death. Others carried posters.
Of course, the killing has affected Canadians as well. And at the core, that video showing the officer's knee on George Floyd's neck. Since then, other videos have emerged of Canadian police using similar moves. Rafi Boudjikanian looks at a couple of those cases and how they've been judged.
In particular, at this time, it's our Black African Canadian community.
A message of solidarity from Edmonton police after the killing of George Floyd.
They're hurting, and it's our job to walk shoulder to shoulder.
But just hours apart, this video went online as well. Sifa Ngeze filmed it and posted it. That's her husband being immobilized by an Edmonton police officer. She says the knee was on her husband's neck for 4 minutes.
The cop got so mad and just said, if you don't leave, I'm going to arrest you.
Ngeze says he'd just come to check on her after she was in a car accident and didn't want to leave once police were on site.
That day, I fear for my life. I fear for, I was worried for my kids.
That type of restraint just shouldn't happen, says this former police chief.
You don't need to kneel on them. If they're struggling in such a way that they need to be further restrained, you can always put a knee on their shoulder blade or on the shoulder.
He says Canadian police have moved away from the technique because it's dangerous. The RCMP says it doesn't allow it. Montreal police referred us to a college training program, saying it couldn't answer the question today. But in Ontario,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
This video was taken a year ago.
Off of him.
An oversight body cleared this police officer's use of force. And 3 years ago, it cited an earlier coroner's inquest recommendation to reinforce through regular and refresher training the risk of death associated with the use of neck restraint techniques.
I sent the complaint right the next day because I couldn't sleep.
In the Edmonton case, police say they only restrained Rokondo when he refused to move away from the scene, and the only officer discipline was for profanity used during the arrest. But Edmonton police say they do not train their officers to place a knee on someone's neck. Small comfort in this case.
You can see that guy was coming to hurt me.
Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Edmonton.
Let's turn now to the COVID-19 pandemic. Canada has more than 93,000 cases. Ontario reported more than 300 new infections today. That is the highest increase in the country. Roughly half came from the Toronto area, which is still seeing an average of 150 new cases a day. Quebec followed close behind with just under 300 new infections.
We are starting to get solid evidence on whether an anti-malaria drug can be used to help COVID patients. The first carefully controlled study involving hydroxychloroquine has just been released, and the World Health Organization is resuming its own clinical trial. Christine Birak has that story.
Questions surrounding hydroxychloroquine are dizzying. Does the drug help prevent COVID-19? Can it be used as a treatment, or is it killing sick patients?
I think that we finally have the type of evidence that we were looking for to answer one of the main questions.
Canadian scientists co-led a study examining whether hydroxychloroquine is protective. The trial included more than 800 asymptomatic adults who'd come in close contact with a COVID-19 patient. About 100 participants developed the disease. Nearly half had been given hydroxychloroquine, the other half a placebo. The drug didn't appear to protect anyone, but it also wasn't harmful.
From here, we still don't know if we can give the medication as treatment, either in the community or in the hospital. And those are the questions that remain to be answered.
A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories.
Despite the lack of supporting science, Donald Trump revealed in mid-May he was taking the malaria drug to protect against the coronavirus. Then a study published in a leading medical journal suggested hydroxychloroquine was potentially deadly for severely ill COVID-19 patients. A study so concerning, the World Health Organization paused a major clinical trial. The journal now acknowledges there were problems with that data, and top scientists are calling for a retraction.
The level of confusion out there in the public is not surprising because they're getting these crazy messages.
Dr. Michael Hill had also paused his study looking at hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19.
I hope we get stronger and stronger oversight of the science, irrespective of what happens next.
In this pandemic, the speed of quality science can't keep up with the rush for answers, but scientists insist they are coming. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
There are growing calls tonight for a public inquiry into that horrific mass shooting in Nova Scotia.
You might not be able to stop what happened in our community, but it shouldn't have went on as long as it did.
Next, a survivor shares his story and joins others demanding answers.
And later, inside Russia's secret underground bars and gyms where physical distancing rules don't apply.
You got me?
And tired of all those virtual meetings and video calls? You are not alone.
I do feel like every time I got off of a Zoom call, I had to go lie down.
Combating Zoom fatigue. We're back in 2. Six weeks after Gabriel Wortman killed 22 people in rural Nova Scotia, the community is still haunted by some big unanswered questions, including why so many were left in the dark about what was happening as the horror unfolded around them. Kayla Hounsell now with the growing call for a public inquiry.
Come on, get a stick.
This is how Leon Jodry spends his time these days. He says he can't go back to Portapic. He was there as the mass shooting unfolded, drawn out of his home by the fires set by the gunman, whose girlfriend later came banging on Jodry's door. He called 911.
They took her and I went back to my house. They didn't take me with them. They didn't tell me that anybody was murdered. They didn't tell me anything. They just left me there.
Jodry is joining family members of the 22 people killed in demanding a public inquiry.
There's a lot of unknown questions out there that we deserve to know as family.
Could be a unique and new approach.
Nova Scotia's Justice Minister says there will be a review, but wouldn't commit to a public inquiry.
We feel it's appropriate that the federal government lead. We will be a joint partner.
Why can't you call a public inquiry?
I actually can. I have that authority under the Provincial Fatality Investigations Act. It's limited in scope. It would only be binding on provincial jurisdictions.
Fury says because the federal government oversees the RCMP and CBSA, the province couldn't compel them as witnesses.
Our view is that that is in fact not accurate.
This professor is among 34 from Dalhousie University's law school who have penned an open letter saying the province is in fact best positioned to call the inquiry.
Constitutional authority for the administration of justice rests with the provincial government. It's true that there are federal agencies involved here, but they're only one part of this picture.
Leon Jodry says he is lucky to be alive, but he has so many questions.
You might not be able to stop what happened in our community, but it shouldn't have went on as long as it did.
Regardless of who takes the lead, today the federal government said it is working with the province and very close to implementing some kind of review. What it will look like and when it will happen, no one will say. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
Some other stories we're following tonight on The National.
While we were able to recover remains of some of our fallen, it is important to note that we have not yet identified these remains.
Officials have ended the recovery operation for the cyclone helicopter that went down off the coast of Greece in April after parts of the wreckage along with human remains were retrieved. All 6 Canadian Forces members on board were killed. British police say they have a new suspect in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, the 3-year-old who vanished from a Portuguese resort in 2007, sparking an international search. Officials are appealing for information on a German man who's currently imprisoned on an unrelated matter.
There may be people in the past who have been quite fearful of coming forward to the police. My message is to anybody that has information, this is a good time to come forward.
Police say the man traveled around Portugal in a camper van and was in the area where McCann was last seen. Look at that. Torrential rains and strong winds battered parts of India as Cyclone Nisarga made landfall on the country's west coast. 1 death reported, and the extent of the damage still being assessed, but officials say things could have been worse as the eye of the storm narrowly missed Mumbai, home to more than 18 million people.
Next, we take you inside a secret underground world where physical distancing rules don't apply. No masks, crowded spaces in a country battling one of the worst outbreaks in the world.
It must be exhausting.
I just want to vegetate almost and lie there.
And you're not alone if you're sick of all those virtual meetings. We'll look at Zoom fatigue and how to avoid it a little later.
Welcome back. Over the past several weeks, we've been looking at how the COVID pandemic is playing out around the world and what it means for Canadians abroad, like Dave Kim. He's originally from Southern Ontario, but he now lives in South Korea, and he talks tonight about what it's like there in our pandemic diary.
My name is Dave Kim. I'm originally from Oshawa, Ontario. I've been living in South Korea for the last 20 years.
My pizza is here, but as the new normal, I get everything online.
There's been several different policies that they implemented over the last 2-3 months.
These are government's public safety alerts we get on our phone every day. This is a site called the Corona Board. I check it daily to see what part of Korea and how many confirmed patients were every day.
There's been a bit of a controversy over private information leaking out through these tracking. There was a second wave that hit early May over a long weekend. Some of the clubbers got infected in Seoul and kind of spread all around the nation. And everyone has to write down the phone number and the contact person with their names, but a lot of those were falsified. So government had to backtrack and do GPS, phone tracks, and everything else to find where they were for public safety, obviously. Well, I also run an expat amateur hockey team and a soccer team. We started the first game yesterday in 3 months.
Nice one, Raza.
We're not required to wear masks. I did try to use a mask that lasted about 30 minutes.
Social distancing, it's okay.
Everyone just kind of have to have a trust with each other. I think it's safe enough that the government's letting us do this, so we're going by the rules for now.
As long as Russia has been ruled by heavy hands, there's been no shortage of those defying restrictions. And this pandemic is no exception, with a black market of bars, gyms, and other services available to those in the know. Chris Brown shows us.
It's a deserted night in St. Petersburg, a city under a tough COVID lockdown. But if you know where to go, you can enter a clandestine world where concepts such as physical distancing do not apply. It's a scene right out of 1920 Chicago under Prohibition.
No customers, so no money.
Bar owner Sidney Fisher says with only anemic support from Russia's government, many businesses and workers have been driven to break Russia's quarantine.
Here in Russia, that's most clear that they're not going to support these small businesses. The state is not interested in that. So I'm not waiting for any of support.
Our Russian crew was allowed to tag along into several underground bars where secret knocks and secret passwords opened the doors.
Yes, I'm really afraid if a policeman
come here, we will have a big problem. But if we don't do this bar, it will be another bar and with our clients. It's our clients, it's our friends.
This clearly is how to make the spread of the coronavirus worse. No masks and very crowded spaces.
Людям гораздо проще прийти сюда, к нам, в наше подполье и поболтать, забыв об этом страхе умереть. Я сам также прихожу сюда, невзирая на то, что я в тотальной зоне риска, потому что у меня астма, и мне страшно, но к черту этот страх, лучше мы будем здесь.
It's not just bars finding a way around the country's lockdown. Alex Dodonov's gym is operating covertly too.
Мне нужно кормить семью, у меня 2 дочки. Где мне деньги доставать, если меня никто не понимает?
Russia is one of the top countries in the world for confirmed coronavirus cases. But customers such as Dmitry Kotov refer to the quarantine restrictions as hysteria.
I'm not really believe in this COVID hysteria. So I think it's a good point for us to strengthen our body here in this gym.
Clandestine businesses are operating in the capital, Moscow, too. This is an illegal hair salon. Elena Alexievna says people need to start feeling normal again, no matter the health risks that come with that.
Psychological point of view, it's very important to keep living, to feel yourself alive, and to expect something new and something happier. Days will come.
Of course, Russians have a deeply ingrained culture of getting around government restrictions and fending for themselves. It was honed for decades under communism when a black market trade in banned consumer goods thrived.
It's not only in St. Petersburg. We have this opposition to the power, and we have the special term for this kind of people. It's like COVID dissidents.
The thing is, in Russia, you're not going to be screwed because you're doing something wrong. You're going to be screwed just because you're going to be screwed. Anytime you could be screwed. Yes, I'm scared of that. Yes, I understand the risk.
Just how widespread these covert businesses are is hard to tell, but local Russian media reports there are busts every weekend. The calculation appears to be that the economic consequences of staying closed are worse than the health risks, or even the risk of going to jail. Chris Brown, CBC News, Vancouver.
Now here at home, COVID-19 has now taken the lives of more than 7,500 people. CBC News is telling some of their stories in our series, Lives Remembered. Tonight, it's a woman in Niagara Falls, Ontario, devoted to keeping alive the Black history of her region. Ayo Adewumi remembers his friend Wilma Morrison.
My name is Ayo Adewumi, and I am a friend to Wilma Morrison, who died of COVID-19, April 23, 2020, at the age of 91 years. She was a mentor, she was a teacher, and she was a great historian. Growing up as a black person in Canada, she never really felt quite accepted. She left high school in 1947 and attempted to get into the Teachers College, but that never happened. Next, she wanted to become a nurse, but it was the same story. They weren't accepting black people. So not until 1958 when she was able to get into the nursing school, not even as a nurse, but as an assistant nurse. Wilma was a selfless woman who fought passionately for the preservation of black history in Canada. She single-handedly fought for the preservation of the church right behind me and made sure the church got designated as a national heritage site. It was a great feat because the church is the only evidence of black people being around here for over 200 years. Wilma was of the opinion that if we don't know where we're coming from, it's difficult for us to know where we're going to. I see Wilma as the Harriet Tubman of our era. Harriet Tubman brought the people from the States to Canada, but Wilma told the story of the people. For somebody to come from such a humble background and make something out of themselves, it's a great achievement. Wilma will be really, really missed. The big question now is who is going to step into her shoes, because she's left huge shoes to be filled.
Wilma Morrison, one of so many Canadian lives lost to COVID-19. If you also lost a loved one and want to share their story, you can send us a note, covid@cbc.ca. We'll be right back.
Since the George Floyd protests began, a number of social media posts have popped up showing piles of bricks. Now, some claim they were staged to bait demonstrators into violence. Others claim the protesters were going to use them to attack police. Katie Nicholson looked into whether the posts are being used to misinform.
It's not just bricks. Accusations are also being hurled about who is responsible for this destruction. On Monday, President Trump pushed the idea that outside agitators were behind much of the conflict.
Our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others.
Today, the White House doubled down on that idea, going so far as to suggest activists and professional anarchists are invading our communities, staging bricks and weapons to instigate violence. That post and its accompanying video was taken down, and with good reason.
This is all unfounded.
This investigative researcher says that hasn't stopped mythmongers from blaming everyone, from undercover police to the far right, to Antifa to the far left, for planting bricks to goad protesters into violence.
I think it's really important that people don't point fingers at this time when we don't have the fact checking and the correct information.
But brick by brick, fact checkers are getting to the bottom of these posts. Like this video in Los Angeles.
I don't know, man. That don't look right to me.
A Jewish community center clarified it placed them there to protect its property.
Some random ass bricks, bro. Ain't no construction.
And these, not so random. Video evidence shows they were there before George Floyd was killed.
So even though the White House account took down that video, the damage is already done. They have amplified conspiracy theories through this video and through posting it on the official White House account.
CBC News asked the White House why it posted those claims and then later removed them. The White House did not respond. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, next, it's become a necessity with so many people working from home during the pandemic. Exhausting, too.
Every time I got off of a Zoom call, I had to go lie down.
Tired of all those video calls? Zoom fatigue is real. How you can avoid it. Next. Since the start of the pandemic, video conferencing has become part of our new normal. From Parliament to your home office, it's changed how we work, how we play, even how we work out.
You go, banana, go.
Milestones are celebrated virtually.
Happy birthday to you.
Going to a concert now looks like this.
And the same thing is true.
And talk show audiences have gone from the studio to the Zoom screen. But all that screen time spent video conferencing can take a toll. And if your new virtual routine is leaving you feeling drained, you're not alone. Thomas Daigle explains.
You got me? Anyone working from home has likely heard that.
Can you hear me okay?
Stefan Collenberg sure has, since turning his living space into office space.
My water, my podcast microphone.
We reached him for one of his half-dozen daily video meetings.
Those are between like 30 minutes and an hour. And that's like a good day. There's some days if I look at my calendar, it's been like 8 or 9 times a day.
Must be exhausting.
I just want to like vegetate almost and lie there.
What he's feeling has become known as Zoom fatigue, a type of mental strain that can come from any video conferencing. Judy Lee gets it too, ever since the pandemic has kept her inside, away from her usual in-person meetings.
I do feel like every time I got off of a Zoom call, I had to go lie down.
Back-to-back meetings can be tiring, so what makes video chats worse? When that webcam light turns on, experts say the pressure to perform kicks in. Plus, seeing yourself staring back at you only makes things worse.
It's really hard not to be self-conscious and keep looking back up at that corner of the screen where you're seeing yourself.
The other thing is we're not used to staring at people intently with eye contact.
That's why it can be so uncomfortable having so many colleagues all staring back at you all at the same time, each in their own little box, in what some call Hollywood Squares mode.
With Tom Bergeron, your host, all on Hollywood Squares.
Yes, it can be much less fun than that old game show, so experts suggest turning off your camera if you're just listening, or finding another way to chat altogether.
We're assuming we need to have Zoom meetings whenever maybe we need to be doing something else instead.
I'm good, how are you?
Judy Lee found a low-tech solution, picking up the phone more often.
It's what I did before this whole pandemic thing happened. And so I think I'm going to go back to that.
That's wonderful.
Thomas Dagler, CBC News, Toronto.
When we come back, a special essay from Canadian author Lawrence Hill. But first, how George Floyd's daughter is paying tribute to her dad.
That's right. Daddy changed the world. Wait, we don't.
Daddy changed the world.
Daddy changed the world.
Daddy changed the world. You can imagine those words from 6-year-old Gianna resonate with people around the world. We'll be right back.
All the world is watching. All the world is watching.
And for more than a week now, what the world has been watching is a seismic shift in the racial tension that's divided the United States for decades, if not centuries. Scenes like that are disturbing to Canadians, but especially to those who live the Black experience. Writer Lawrence Hill shares his opinion in an essay for The National. We begin with a bit of an introduction.
It doesn't change anything. It's just a lovely recognition. It's a way of the country telling me, you know, we love you and thanks for a good job. And it just makes me more sort of grounded and determined to keep on going.
That's Lawrence Hill on being honored with the Order of Canada. The son of a Black father and a white mother, he grew up in a predominantly white suburb of Toronto. Much of his writing touches on the issues of identity and belonging. He's the author of 10 books, many of them award winners. In 2015, one of them, The Book of Negroes, was turned into an acclaimed CBC miniseries.
Nova Scotia, not London.
Nova Scotia is a British colony.
And in this Nova Scotia, will we be free?
Lawrence Hill is an important voice in Canada, and he's got something to say to all of us.
I'm Lawrence Hill in Hamilton. My parents were Americans, Daniel Hill, a Black man, and Donna Hill, a white woman, who married in the American South in 1953 and left the next day for Canada. They spent their lives in the human rights and Black history movements. Most of my family still lives in the United States. Why has George Floyd's death ignited such horror and protest? We saw it on video. It's a modern-day lynching of a Black man by a white cop. The murder is a culmination of a perfect storm. Our two countries were built on the immoral foundations of slavery and segregation. In 2015, we witnessed the killing of 9 Black people who were engaged in Bible study in a church in Charleston. In February, we witnessed the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, a Black man who went out for a jog in Georgia. The victims of COVID-19 are disproportionately Black folks, newcomers, people of color, and poor people. The man in the White House and his enablers show nothing but contempt for Black folks, Muslims, Mexicans, refugees, and women. Canadians from Dawson City to St. John's can tell you about American slavery, the Civil War, and the fight to desegregate America. But how many Canadians can tell you that Peter Russell, a prominent legislator and cabinet minister in late 18th century Upper Canada, was a slave owner? How many know that slavery was part of the fabric of life in PEI, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Quebec, and Ontario? How many Canadians can name Andrew Loku, Germaine Carby, and Michael Ellegon as just 3 of the many Black Canadians who've been killed by police in recent years? Today, many Black parents in Canada are afraid. Will our children keep their hands on the steering wheel when they get pulled over? Will they come home alive? We've been saying the same things for decades. Are you ready to act and listen? Our children need safety, respect, and good education in schools. We need police forces, courts, and prisons that do not come down unfairly on Black people. We need a recognition of who we are, where we've been, and where we are today. We need an equal footing in this country. We need what all folks need.
That is a national for June 3rd. Good night.
Good night.